Hey, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited you are here. We are moving right along with my client spotlight series, and I am very, very honored to have Sandra on today. We are going to be talking to her all about Kamuanya designs. I wanted to read you a little bit about her bio and everything before we bring her on. So, Sandra Sala is a graphic designer and illustrator based in Houston, Texas. She was born in the Democratic Republic of Congo in Central Africa, y'all, and then moved away when she was 8 years old to a lot of different places. When she's not engrossed in a new project, she's probably being chased around by her adorable little humans, Micah, Gabriel, and Dominic. In 2017, she started using bullet journals and sharing her original spreads on social media. After a short while, people started asking her if she made them for sale, and that is how the business idea was birthed. Kamuanya Designs was made into art in her art business. She now creates custom calligraphy pieces and illustrations and runs a stationery shop featuring her original illustrations for art enthusiasts and planner lovers. So let's go ahead and bring Sandra on. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
Good, good. Excited to have you on here to chat about just all the things. So, first, before we get into the questions and all of that stuff, just tell us a little bit more about who you are. And I really would love for you to share a bit about the meaning behind your business name as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Sandra, but my middle name is actually Kamuanya. I inherited from my dad's mom. And it just means community, being together in community, and also the one who cares for others. I think, well, that's according to my uncle. I don't know if it's for real. So when I was growing up, I didn't get a chance to really know her. I know she passed away when I was very young. And she was really someone that mattered a lot to my dad. And so I felt really honored to have been given that name. And I just knew growing up that one day I would want to use it in one way or another that would honor her and honor my father as well. So when I got obsessed with art as a teenager, I just knew one day I'll have an art business. And I kept thinking, Kamuanya Art, Kamuanya Illustrations, Kamuanya Designs. And I just fell in love with Kamuanya Designs. And that's kind of how I chose the name.
I love that. I love the meaning behind it. And that is, yeah, that is very, very special. So I know you started the business in 2017, but your artwork is beautiful. Like you all, I
Thank
will
you.
make sure that I have all of her information linked down in the description. But I remember the first time that we connected and I saw your artwork, and she actually drew a picture of me, which I still have. Like I was just like, oh my gosh. But um, how long have you been doing just art in general? Just how long has that been a passion of yours, just in the midst of everything you have going on?
I've always loved being creative and making art. And I know like all kids make art, but for me, it was one of those things that I didn't feel my day had any purpose until I'd actually made something artistic. So either a painting or a drawing or had written a song or I really just wanted to do something creative all the time. But I really love drawing. I just love the piece that it brought me. I really love just how it could take you to any world you want. You just basically create that universe for yourself. And as I got older, just, the teenage years, the angst, all of that, it brought me a lot of calm, a lot of peace, and it just kind of helped recenter me every time I felt a little bit out of balance. So I've always loved it. I've always wanted to do something with it, but I just never knew what specifically. And I didn't know which part of my art I could use. Like, I love everything, visual and performing. And it's like, I can't do it all at one time. So I just never knew how to get it all together and make it work as a business.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you are very talented, and
Thank
I
you.
love how you just put your artwork on so many different things. I would love to know, and I'm sure a lot of other people may want to know, just how does it feel to have your artwork in the hands of others? Like I know one minute when something is just an idea, and you just got it in your head, but then when you start seeing other people using it and sharing it and enjoying it, what does that feel like for you?
It's so surreal, like something that I've made that came up out of my head, out of my heart, and I followed through, made something with it, and ends up in somebody's hands. Like someone telling me that they're reading their daughter my little zine and showing them outfits from Africa, and then using it almost like a bedtime storybook. Like that just fills my heart with so much joy that this gift isn't just for me, that I'm able to share with other people, bring more joy to them as well, and sometimes make them laugh. Sometimes I throw goofy things in there because I'm kind of a goofy person. I like to let that show. But it just warms me so much, and it just makes me feel like, oh, this is amazing to know like God gave me something that's not just for me, that I can share with other people to bring them joy. I love that part.
Yeah, I love that too. It is, I feel like there's no better feeling than that. And so let's backtrack just a little bit. I know we've worked together on and off a little bit over the years on some one-on-one occasions, and I would just really like to know where you were before we connected, like just kind of how you were feeling before you got things off the ground that finally made you want to reach out.
Yeah. So when I was at a place where I thought, okay, I need to make a business out of this, like late 2019, I was doing a lot of research. I was watching a ton of YouTube videos, mostly YouTube bullet journalers and people who made stationery. And then I just thought in my area, they have craft fairs. So maybe I need to learn about craft fairs and figure out if that's an avenue for me. And your video was, I think, one of the first few that popped when I was searching, and that was the one where you went to. I don't know if it was your second or your third craft fair, but it didn't go so well. There weren't a lot of people there, but I just remember you were wearing like a mint colored hoodie, and it's like, I mean, hi, like my
Oh my
entire
gosh, that
studio
video is
is
so old, but I
turquoise.
know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was just like, I found my sister on YouTube. This is
Oh,
insane. And I just loved your vibe, your personality that you were sharing about it. You were so informational. Like I took notes and notes and notes. And I just remember thinking, oh my gosh, I could actually do this. And then I binged a bunch of your videos. I saw you had a child and you were working with her or around you. And I had toddlers at the time. I had a 1 year old, a 2 year old, and a 5 year old. And I thought I was completely insane for trying to start a business with that going on. We're all at home together, all you know how they are. They're all up in the
right,
building all
right.
the time. And I just thought, oh my gosh, it's doable. Like how do I make this work? Like I'm gonna find out from her how I make it work. And initially I remember it just being me watching everything you put out and trying to learn from you. And eventually you came out with the first 10, I think it was the first time that I
Mhm.
actually signed up for something. And
Yeah.
from there I remember you offering us a discount if we wanted to try and do a coaching session with you. So then it was like, I know she's helping people who haven't started, but I'm still at the beginning and I have no idea how I got here, so maybe I can learn like the foundation to make sure
Yeah.
I kind of adjust from here. And that's really what prompted me to come to you. Like I had already felt like I was learning so much from you just from everything that you were sharing. But it was so nice to be able to ask a direct question and get that answer. And that's really where I was at the time.
Definitely. And I'm so glad you did. How do you feel after we worked together just in different ways? Has it helped you overall, just in your business, or even if you're thinking of just for someone that's kind of also wanting, maybe they're struggling in some area and they're wanting to get some help? What has been the benefit of just getting that extra help and reaching out for you?
For me, it's been just such a gift to be able to see that, number one, I'm not crazy for wanting this. I absolutely can do it. It's not impossible. It's not too late. That's one of my things we'll talk about later. But that part was huge for me to just have somebody else kind of bounce off those same ideas that I was having and say, you could try this and this. And I realized, well, I was already thinking that. So I'm on the right track. It was
Yeah.
really validating. It was also very encouraging to have somebody who could help me with the foundational steps, like just to know, start here. Here are the steps that you want to take. Make sure you don't skip over this, and this, because a lot of this stuff you don't know. You're learning as you go.
Mhm.
And I was never good at business stuff, accounting, admin. Till this day, I'm struggling because I'm like, I just want to paint. I just want to paint, but I have to do them because I don't have an admin. It's just me here. So the foundational steps were really helpful. They made me feel grounded. They made me feel confident that I could do it because everything was laid out very clearly, very
Yeah.
easy steps to follow. So I loved it. I loved it.
Wonderful. Well, it's always a pleasure and to have had opportunity to work with you. And so we'll shift gears a bit because I want to learn a little bit more about you and what all you have going on. So tell us a bit about what your mission is. Just what are you here to do? We know you make beautiful artwork, but what is really kind of like the underlying? Because I feel like a lot of the clients I work with, they have like just a deeper reason why they're doing something. So, really, what is your true mission and how are you doing that every day when you show up?
So I think I thought it was something else before, but I've realized this past year that what I've truly been super passionate about has been encourage other women like myself who have a passion, like a burning desire to be creative and to do something with that creativity or that gift, and just feel it's too late now. I'm somebody's wife, I'm somebody's mom, I have another job. And it's not too late. Yes, you have those are primary, but you're still your own person. Before you're someone's mom, before you're someone's spouse, you are you. And I kept thinking, where is Sandra? I don't want to lose her. Like, she's somewhere in there, but she's not expressing herself. She's not being 100% herself. And if I couldn't give 100% of who I was, then my kids were not getting the best of me. And my husband was not getting the best of me. And it's a difficult balance. It was hard to figure out how to do it, but I realized what I really want is to help this other mom that's on the couch, maybe that had postpartum depression like I did after having my second kid, and just thought my life is over. Like, this is it now. This is what I'm going to be. This is what I'm going to do. I'll never be able to paint again or draw again or do anything like that again. And no, you can. You absolutely can. And because I'm in my 40s, I was like in my late 30s when I started, and I was just like online with all the 20-year-olds. It hurt. You feel uncomfortable when you start, but it was just so encouraging to see others doing the same thing that I was doing. And I just thought that encouraged me. It's my turn to encourage somebody else. So that's kind of like the mission. It's just encourage this other mom or woman who has a creative passion burning inside of her that doesn't think she can still do it. She thinks her time has passed, but your time hasn't passed. You can still do it. Doesn't matter how old you are. You can.
Your time has not passed for
It
anyone that
has
needs to
not
hear that.
passed.
That's so good. And yeah, I feel like that's so true. Once you become a mom, it's just a whole nother level that sometimes we don't always expect. And I personally, like, I dealt with postpartum anxiety, so I know how that is. You just feel like you're a whole different person, and you're like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
how do I navigate this and figure it out?
Yeah.
And I completely get it. So tell me, how do you make your days as intentional as possible? Because I know you mentioned you're trying to find that balance. You work running your own business. I know you do a lot of just like commission work and things as well. So how do you make your days the most just intentional and just get the most out of those days?
I used to just get up and go, like run, 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 drop the kids at school, daycare, all the things. And I would just feel frazzled the entire day. I still sometimes have those days. If I'm not careful, I have those days. But being intentional, it means it's not maybe a habit yet for me, but I have to daily make that decision. Okay, today I need to do this, this, this. So even if my body doesn't want to, I'm tired, I'm getting all these little bones. As soon as you get up, it's like crack, 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 but it's okay. We're going to do it. So I have to make sure that I do things the right way. And for me personally, as a believer, I've just decided I cannot start my day without prayer. I cannot start my day without spending a little bit of time in God's presence, even if it just means sitting in the quiet, worshiping for a little bit and just asking him, what do I need to do today? Like, what's one thing you want me to do today? I don't always get that done. I multiple times will just be running already and then realize, oh no, I didn't start my day right. And I feel personally like I feel that. I feel that when I don't start with the calm, it's like the rest of the day is just going to be frazzled. But when I get a chance to just take that calm, just take that pause, I feel like I also appreciate the rest of my day so much more because I'm just this itty bitty person in a world sea of people, and I get to do what I love to do every single day. And there was a time when I couldn't. So I can be really grateful for that. And even if I don't finish all the things on my to do lists, which I have many, I can still be really grateful that I got up this day. My kids are healthy. My husband is good. We have a job. We have a home. We have food, and this is just a bonus that I get to do this, make more art, make someone smile, have a conversation with somebody else, all of those things. I get to appreciate that more. So I try to make that my biggest intention every day. And then one other thing, which I didn't used to do, but now I make it a point, is to take time to rest. I,
Mhm.
as a mom, I feel like I'm always running. I don't know if it's all of us, but it feels like we're always running and nothing's ever done. There's always something more that could be done. So if I don't take that pause to regenerate, if I don't take that pause to kind of recharge and refuel, I will crash one day. And that's happened to me a few times. And then I realized, all right, I need to make time. And that's something that is just non negotiable. Every week, I have to take that pause, whether it's go get your nails done, go shopping. I don't, shopping, I mean, art supply store, but Hobby Lobby, they know me. But it's like, it has to be something for me. It can't be, oh, I love doing dishes, so I'm going to go do the dishes. Nobody loves the dishes. Stop lying. It's okay. No, no, no. Go
Never that.
outside, get some fresh air, get a coffee, just walk around, do something for yourself. Even if just 1 hour, it's so amazing. So I really feel like when I get to do those two specific intentional things, they make the rest of my week work. And I don't always go through my lists the same way every day, but I feel like I'm able to tackle those things because those two intentional actions bring more peace to me and they help me do everything else.
I love that. And peace is what we all
We
need.
need
It's what we all
so
need.
much, so
Yeah, I
much.
love how you had the way you worded it when you were saying that this is what you get to do. I actually have heard that in different ways where people, just saying like if we are grateful for the things that we get to do instead of looking at it like it's a burden. Because sometimes I'm sure, even though
Mhm.
as much as you love creating art and different things, sometimes that may even feel
Yeah,
stressful too. So it's
yeah.
like to look at it like it's something that you get to do. It is a blessing. It is a bonus. I really just love how you worded that and how you're viewing that. So, what excites you the most about the business? Just that it is something that you get to do. What excites you the most that keeps you coming back all the time?
So I love when I have a crazy idea, which pretty much feels like all the time, that I don't think makes any sense to anybody else. Sometimes I run it by my husband and he's like, okay, tell me more. Like he's very suspicious of what I'm about to say, but it comes from here. And then I have a physical product. Like I don't know if there's another way to explain how amazing that is. I think the only other thing I could compare it to, which obviously is not, this is way bigger, but having a child, it's like in your mind it was this little
Mhm.
nugget that was moving around in your belly. And one day it's a full-fledged person and they're looking at you and they're talking to you and you see them learning. So it just feels like I created something like this didn't exist before and now it does. And it was literally just a picture and now it's a thing. I get so excited for what I'm going to make next. And I get even more excited when I find I've created these things that used to be on this long wish list. Which means that all these other things on my wish list one day can become things too. So I just get so excited to get working on them as soon as I can.
What's your favorite product that you have?
My zine. I made an illustrated zine. Oh my God. I made an art zine of collection
Mm.
of African attires.
Oh
Um,
yes, yes, yes.
I the thing was, it was during Inktober. I love to travel. I was raised traveling everywhere, so kind of I caught the travel bug. And I didn't know this, but a friend pointed out when I asked her, what did you think is my brand? Because I'm trying to figure it out so I can make sure I tighten it up. She's like, oh, anytime I think of you, I see coffee, I see traveling, I see chocolate. You're fun, you're friendly. And I was like, is it always travel? She's like, there's always something related to travel. And I didn't realize that. So when I look back at my Inktober's, every time I made an Inktober challenge, it was something to do with traveling. So I thought, oh, I'll do this again, but let's have people explore where I'm from. I'm from Africa. A lot of people don't know African countries. They might not know specifically where they are. So I thought, oh, why don't we just travel around the continent and pick some countries and make the outfits? And that's really how it started out. And as I was making it, people were wondering more, where are we going next? Where is this country? Oh, I didn't realize that this is so interesting. And I was getting into it. I was researching because I wanted it to be accurate. I don't know everything by heart either. And I didn't know a lot about these outfits either. So I had to research them. I had to, ask my mom to help me because she knew people from those locations that could confirm I drew the outfit properly and I'm not lying in my description, like what it's made from, what it means, all that good stuff. So it became a thing and people were just like, I want to know more. I want to know more. And then I just thought, what if I made this into a little booklet? Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I had literally 2 weeks to figure that out. So I'm trying to paint, post every day, do YouTube every day about it. And then at night, I'm working on the descriptions of an actual booklet. And when it was finished, I turned it into a little mini collection. I made a notebook from it. I published it myself. It sold out in my shop. It was the biggest pre-order sale that I've ever had in my shop. And like
Oh
just
my
holding it
gosh.
in my hand, sometimes seeing it around my studio, I sold out. But I have like my template over here. But just having it in my hand, sometimes I'm like, I can't believe this came from my head. I think it's just so incredible because I Googled something like this and it didn't exist. And I was like, why doesn't
Yeah.
this exist? So I'm going to make it. And
Is
now
this
it
something that
exists.
people can still get now? Or I know you said it was sold
Yes,
out, but is it coming back? Or is there a way to still get
replenish.
pieces
Yeah.
of it?
I love it. So I made it available on Amazon. So it's on Amazon all the time. And I
Okay.
know how some people are kind of like for it, against it, but I do get the majority of those funds. They just print it for me and ship it for me, which means if you ordered it today, you can have it tomorrow, which is amazing. But every time I'm about to launch a new, so when I work on volume 2, I will buy another stock of them and replenish in my shop. Usually it's in my shop. So if somebody wants it, they could always get their hands on it. And I just ended up, after the fact, I made pieces to go with it, like stickers and notebooks and notepads and stuff. But the zine
Yeah.
itself, I just feel so proud of myself that I was able to create. Like 2 years before, like before I even started talking to you, I don't think I would have had the guts, to actually go for it. But a lot of what you say is, you like to help women who wants to run a business go for it. And it's like, yeah, I can do it. I'm just going to follow these steps and let's do it. So that's one of my proudest products.
Ah, I'm so excited for you. I didn't even know it was on Amazon, so I will make sure we have all the links for everything in the description for all of that stuff. That is cool.
Yeah,
And yes, like the artwork is so beautiful. I've seen
thank
the
you.
different little pieces and everything. So I'm sure some of my viewers and just people watching will definitely want to check that out as well. So what are
Thank
you
you.
working on right now? What do you have in the works? What's launching soon? What's the plan next?
So the plan is now to do a lot of custom pieces. So I've kind of recently started getting requests for wedding invitations and like custom paintings of people's homes and like where they met and things like that. So I know there's a huge niche for it, and I'm working toward building a portfolio of products so that people can choose, what they might want from me. It'll probably generate more things, but I don't have anything specific. But I know by the time this comes out, there'll be more visible. I hope I have videos by then that people can check out. But that's
Yeah.
my biggest project that I'm working on right now, is building up the service side of my business where I can provide like a whole wedding stationery collection where you can get the entire thing, but it's custom to you. So, for instance, there was one request for someone who is getting married abroad. Then they want all the paintings to be from different places that they've been. So one wedding I worked on last year, that's what it was. It's she and her fiance at the time. They love to travel. They'd gone to maybe 20 places together. And so they just told me these are the locations that matter to us. And we have a little bit of, why they matter. Can you do little paintings and we'll use them as table numbers? And I was able to do, I think it was 23, 25 paintings for them, which is so original. But that's what I love. It's like I get to do whatever you think in your head, I can make. It's the same way. Whatever I think in my head, I can make. I just have to sit down and do it. But for other people, I get so excited to see when it lights up, like their face lights up because they're so excited that that's exactly what they were looking for and that's what they got. So I'm working on making that an actual set of products so someone can, you could say, I want something from my hometown. Here, this is where we met. This is our little street. This was our high school. I've been really enjoying making those little pieces.
I love that. I think there is nothing like custom things, just like stuff that is made for you. So I love that. If anyone you guys know that is getting ready to get married or just looking for something sentimental like that, then definitely check that out because I know that's going to be something amazing. I've seen some of them and they're perfect. So definitely
Thank you.
check that out too. I know I'm just plugging you back to back to back, but no, you just have so many cool things you're working on. So let's shift gears a little bit more. And I would love for you to just share some advice to anyone that is wanting to get started with any type of business, not even just art, but any type of business. And, maybe they've been thinking about it for some time now and they haven't taken any action. They're watching everybody else doing it. And what would be just some of your advice or steps that they can take to just get out of their way?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is you have to trust that you can do it. You're going to start out by telling that to yourself. And I mean, even if you feel like it sounds ridiculous, look at yourself in the mirror and be your own best friend. I had to do this for myself because I felt like I was always encouraging everybody else, and I didn't have like an actual person with me 24/7 to that for me. Spiritually, I do. I just had to remember that. But in a physical world like this, if you needed that and you didn't have that, be that for yourself. That's going to be the first thing that will get you to even take a step. Because if you don't trust that you can do it, you're not even going to try. And if you don't try, you don't know whether or not you're going to be able to do it. But you have to start. You absolutely have to start. Don't wait, just start now. And the first thing is get out there. Let people know that you exist. Let people know that you're doing what it is you're doing. Tell people about it. It's hard. It's really hard in the beginning. Like, it's still hard for me to share what I do. Honestly, if it wasn't for like this, I don't know anybody's plugged me this much before. I didn't even plug myself this much. So you have to take that step. You have to be bold, and it's definitely not easy. But if you don't have anyone in your life that can do that for you, be the first person. Be your own best friend. Think, if this were someone I cared about, what would I tell them? And then tell those things to yourself. It'll get you started. That's the first thing that I had to do for me.
Be your own best friend. I really like that because, yeah, I think if we wait for someone else to give us the permission to do something, we will continue to
Mm.
just wait.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah.
said, don't wait, just
It's
do
so
it.
easy. Yeah, it's so easy to do that. Just wait, 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 and till kingdom come. You won't start if you don't. Like, just
Yeah,
get up and go. It's my
yeah,
best
definitely.
advice. And if you really can't afford to, then hire someone cool like Tatiana to help you with actual steps. See that? See that?
Yeah, and it's so true because I mean, not everyone will take the coaching route, but either way, I think it's just so important to realize, like Sandra was saying, that you have it in you, and even if someone's not telling you that, that doesn't mean that you don't. Like just go for it, encourage yourself. You see all these people out here doing it, which sometimes is a blessing and a curse, but you see
Yeah,
all these other people out here doing it, so you know that the potential is there. You can do it too. Everyone starts from the same place, so
yeah, absolutely.
yeah, so definitely that's some good stuff. And hopefully that encourages someone if you're feeling stuck or just feeling like you are looking up and you still have not taken any action yet. So, Sandra, let us know, where can everyone connect with you? Where you hang out the most? Are you still on Patreon? Like, just, share all the different places that they can find you.
I'm everywhere, y'all. Listen. You have to be. Well, mostly I'm on Instagram because that's kind of like my daily, how are you guys doing? Checking in with my audience. Checking in with other businesses. It's very important to have connections with other businesses as you're growing, you're learning, you're always learning. So that's where I spend most of my time is Instagram. I post there. I try to post there daily, but I'm in stories literally every single day. So you can come say hi. I have a YouTube channel. By the time this airs, I'm hoping I'll be back to it. I'm working to be back to it. Since my kids are
Oh,
off at school now, I have freedom again. Yay. So I'm going back to studio vlogs. I share all the behind the scenes of my business. I share how I make my products. Every once in a while, I'll do a paint with me or a bullet journal with me kind of video just to show you what I do. And I'm on Patreon for the extra exclusive people who want to see even more from me. And there I give actual tips. I show the whole process of my client base because a lot of that I can't talk about in public, but on Patreon I can. So if someone runs a business where they need more advice, more tips, or more how do you do this kind of thing, that's where that goes. And then I have like, secret videos for them and like little games, little downloads and freebies and stuff like that. So that's always fun to be able to have that additional thing in the pocket. But all my links are going to be there. They're all on my website. The link on Instagram is, my links page. So you can see all the things. You can find me and just come say, hey, it would be nice to see some people that have watched this and just know that I was able to help them.
yes, definitely. It's been so nice chatting with you and so excited that you
Yeah.
did decide to come on. It's so
I,
funny because a lot of the people that I work with, I feel like they have the most beautiful souls and they have so much to share. But a lot of times y'all don't be really wanting to get on camera and be, talk about
Oh,
yourself. So I'm just
I'm here.
glad you came.
Call me. I will forget.
Because I know that this will bless someone and
Yeah,
encourage a lot of people. So thank you so much for coming on. Is there any last things you want to
having me.
share before we leave?
Oh my gosh, just thank you so much for consistently helping us out there. And I'm sure you know by now, but everything you do has impacted somebody, definitely me. It's grown me a ton. It's been super, super, super encouraging to just have someone who looks like me doing these things because a lot of us aren't sharing those online. And it's really unfortunate that a lot of us don't think we deserve to be seen, but we do. We have talent, we have so much to give, and we shouldn't shy away from that. So I really want to thank you for opening that platform and also doing things like this where like a baby YouTuber like me would never get this kind of chance anywhere else. So I feel
Oh
so
my God.
super honored that no, I really do. I really appreciate that you go the extra mile. So I'm very grateful for that. And so I hope we can help a ton more people to keep doing what we do and so they can enjoy what they do as well.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for that. And it's
Thank
honestly,
you.
it's a pleasure. I love doing it and I'm happy to serve and happy to work with you and all of those different things. So I appreciate you coming on as well and supporting me through my coaching ventures and things too. So yeah, we will be back. Hopefully, you guys will check Sandra out and all that she has coming up. Connect with her, say hey, let her know that you got a chance to watch this interview. And I will see you all in the next video. Thanks for
Thank you.
watching. Bye.
Bye.